Joseph, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up? How are you?
The train keeps rolling, man. That's all. That's these Thursdays are relentless, man. They're always right around the corner, you know.
Relentless, huh?
Oh yeah.
Relentless. I really kind of look forward to them. I'm sorry that you feel this way.
No, it doesn't. It's not a bad thing. It just means that they're always here. Like I had a moment last night where I was like, "Phew! I made it through Tinley. I got all my stuff put up. I made some homemade chicken noodle soup last night. Little secret. Oh, grill the chicken, then make your soup. You get that smoky flavor through it. It tastes like fall, you know, you get the rich broth.
Okay. That's interesting. I'm gonna do it.
Use thighs too instead of breasts. You get a little of that fat in the broth. It's even richer. Anyway, lost my train of thought there. I was enjoying the evening. My son's off of school today. They got this fall break stuff, and I was like, man, I'm gonna sleep in. And then I was like, nope,
it's not happening.
Not, pal. No, you're not.
And let me ask you this: do you ever like half-ass anything?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, you don't know me well enough. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I was thinking about this right before we got on here. Like you just seem like somebody who is just like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right, and I'm gonna do it. You just don't ever seem like you half-ass anything.
Is that what you took for the chicken soup?
No. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Like the soup, you put some broth. I'm not gonna grill the chicken. Blah blah blah. You're gonna grill the chicken. You're gonna make it right. Do it the right way. You never half-ass anything.
Oh, so happy when I ate it. I mean, that's why I did it. And I had some nice Chardonnay with it. It was good.
So what do you half-ass? You say yes, you don't know me that well. What do you half-ass?
I can't share that. I mean,
why can't you?
If you saw this room right now, you would be like, man, you've been half-assing it. No, I have tubs. I have tubs just stacked like nearly like thigh high all around the room that I've got to go get washed. Anyway, I just got stuff that's undone.
I just don't. That's not half-assing it. What I mean is, like, you can procrastinate certain things. You're definitely going to do that, but when you do it, you're going to do it the whole way, and no matter what.
That's true.
Yeah.
Generally,
I just don't. I can't imagine you doing anything less than what is peak when you actually do stuff.
All right. Next time you come, we're gonna have some Campbell's condensed soup and some Busch Light. How about it? Then you'll be like, yeah, do it the other way, Adam.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying. I'm just thinking about it. I half-ass stuff all the time.
I'm saying I do too. I don't know.
I actually before you got to me about the show topic today, I was going to propose that as a topic that we talk about.
Really?
Is half-assing? Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, we can I'll make notes this week. I'm going to keep a half-ass journal this week. And
that sounds good.
I'll make notes of the stuff that I don't go all the way through on. Just my desk is a disaster. I'm very strategic with what I show. We'll put it that way.
I think we have to define our terms. We got to do a behind the scenes discussion and really define this term, because I don't know if you're really understanding what I'm saying.
Okay, show behind the show. Then we're gonna do that. Here, that's what we'll do.
I'm excited.
I see. Yeah, high quality pressure pythons t-shirt right here. This has stood the test of time because I know that I got this in Jacksonville, Florida, and I moved from Jacksonville, Florida in September of 23, and still holding up. Nice and black, good arm length showing. Neck is still tight. Proper Royals approved pressure pythons.
Do you feel like and so that's going on 2 years now, and you are happy with your move?
Oh, I love it, man. Yeah, life is good.
Yeah, I feel like you're a happier person too.
I think I am. Like good things are happening. I told somebody last night. I thanked them for business relationship. And I told him, I said, I wouldn't be the business I am without your help. But I made a really strong point to say I wouldn't be as happy as I am without your help. Like that's a cool thing. It's working.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. We got to look back and go, yes, we made the right decisions. I look back a lot of times and I go, I made the wrong decision here. But you can look back and really, really appreciate some of the decisions that you've made.
I feel like, but there's like, again, just like the last time, there's plenty that I've screwed up on along the way. So,
boy, this took a turn.
Well, I don't know. I feel like I'm getting put on this pedestal. Like you're like looking up at me. Like I'm just a dude in a basement with a camera, man.
No, what I really appreciate is when people are happy, when people go, yes, I made the right choices. I'm in the right spot, and I'm just happy. That's what I'm most. That's what I seek all the time. I've had these conversations in my classes recently about like the priority that you give to happiness in your life. Because there's a lot of religions that don't prioritize happiness at all. So but I prioritize happiness. I want to be happy. I want to be happy all the time. So it is really nice to see people, and I'm not just saying you, I'm saying people make decisions for their own happiness.
Yeah, I don't know if it was age or maturity or trauma. I'm not sure, but there was a day when I was just like, you know what? Like at the time my son was 9 years old, and I was like, just easy math. I was like, well, if he's gone from the house when he's 18, I'm halfway there. And I was like, I don't feel like I've gotten half of the experience yet. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to worry for 9 years. And when he's moved out, or he's on his way, or he's an adult and he stays, whatever, then I'll worry if I need to. And that was a lot of the catalyst for this whole thing with proper royals. And
with proper royals in general. Yeah. Not necessarily move to Minnesota.
Oh, it all was part of it. Yeah. It was a lot of what you were talking about, of just let's be happy. Let's trust ourselves. We've made it this far. We'll do it again. And if I need to go run a restaurant or a golf club, they're around too. And they always have staffing problems. I can attest to that. So let's do this thing.
That's awesome. That's great. It's great. Anyway, so tell me one of the things that made you happy this week. What happened this past week? I know we're going to talk a lot about Tinley, but and I have a lot of questions. But what's your one thing? This you think what's the one thing?
Good Lord! I don't know what's in your coffee this morning. Holy cow!
It's funny because we got on and I was not exhibiting this yet. I kept it. It.
Yeah, you bottled it up.
The show.
That's right. Yeah,
but it's funny, and also I've been up for like I don't know, an hour and a half at this point.
Good for you.
Yes. Yeah. So
Joe,
ready to go.
Joe does glitch.
What happened this past week?
Everything revolved around Tinley. So I'm trying to think of a one thing
that isn't involved with Tinley. Okay.
Yeah, everything was really, really Tinley driven. How about you go with your one thing, and then if we have to make mine Tinley, we'll just jump into it.
Oh, putting people on the spot here. Okay. Well, I just put you on the spot, didn't I?
That's true. That's right.
I went on a rant. I teach class in person, some classes, and then I also do online classes. And they both have writing assignments that they have to do. One is a discussion board that they have to do every couple of weeks or whatever. So the amount of AI usage that's happening
Is it out of
is
hand?
incredible. I can't. So I'm like grading hell right now. I didn't line up the classes properly. It all came in at the same time, all the grading that I needed to do.
Oh.
And I got to the point where I was like, I hate AI. And I don't hate AI. I use AI. My other work, it's fine. It's great. But I hate AI when it's used against me. Really. So I actually posted videos of myself kind of ranting a little bit. It wasn't a rant. I was very focused, and but I said, these are the 4 reasons why you should not use AI in this class. And I'm wondering about that now. Like, I'm wondering if I should be so angry. I'm wondering if there's a way that I can, but I was like, so I had a whole discussion about it last night in my class. I put videos out on my online classes, like, you're depriving yourself of exercising your brain. The whole reason that we do these things that you are is to improve the way that you think, and you're just allowing something else to do the thinking for you. It's like it was all that stuff. But I still use AI for other things.
Right.
But the purpose of doing that work is to, help me think, to like get ideas.
Right.
And then, so
to be the starting point, not the end point.
Yeah. There's a part of me that's like, am I being hypocritical here? But I don't think so, because the intention is different. The intention for my usage of AI, and I'm upfront about it when I tell the students not to use AI in my class. I'm upfront about it. I go, I use it. It's really good. It's fantastic. But the intention of my usage is to get a certain job done, and that's what they intend to do when they use it for discussion posts, and they want to get their job done. But the intention of the class is to improve thinking. So there's a disconnect here, and I'm trying to figure out how to handle it, because they see it the way that I see my other work. They want to get the job done.
They're trying to get the job done. Yeah.
But my job is to help them improve thinking. And my job, I don't even see my job as going as helping them to remember stuff about other religions or anything else. My job is to help them improve the way that they think. That's so and they're thinking, well, I just want to get the right answers, and I'll use AI, and I'll say the right things about this particular religion or this particular question. So they're taking away but when they see it that way, they're taking away what my job is supposed to do. So I got to figure this out somehow.
Can the final or the midterm or a test be an in-class essay? That's where always the proof is in the pudding,
Yeah. I think I have to go back to that. I think when I started to use like online shells, I was like, oh, okay, they can do tests at home, or they can write at home or whatever, and I'll use the class time to really flip it and do like activities and stuff like that. Yeah. But it's getting to the point where I'm like, that could be a way back.
Yeah, you're gonna have to think this through, folks. All right, here you go, Joe. And I will vouch for Charlie that he has good intentions on these things. He's a good man. Do you think when they invented books, the village elders said, you kids, you're rotting your brains. Now you can write everything down. You don't have to remember the stories anymore. I think you get his point. How do you rectify those two things? How do you square those?
So the point is, you're rotting your brains. You have to write it down. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I can see that. I can see your point. Yes, definitely. There are things though that's not the only way of communicating though. I mean, you have to communicate verbally, you have to communicate written, and there's good and bad things about both ways of communication. So you do have to have skills in both writing and remembering and communicating and talking. So I understand what you're saying. I do feel as though I'm not going, this is a bad thing overall because it's rotting everybody's brains. And I'm not even saying it's rotting their brains. I'm just saying my intention is to help them to use their brain differently or think differently. So when they're relying on another brain, which is AI, to do that for them, they won't develop. So I see what you're saying, but
how about
let me ask this: how do I incorporate that? How do things change? Am I just being my endeavor to use world religions? Is it just phased out to that subject? Is it just going to phase out? Is that something that's just going to go away as a way of thinking about how people behave? I wonder about that. Maybe I'm just on a sinking ship and I should just hop off.
I think you could pose it. Look, at the end of the day, you can't control other people's choices and their purposes. What they want to get out of it is what they'll get out of it. And I think some will get A's that embrace it, and some will get C's. And I hate to admit it. Oh, you asked me if I half-ass things. I'll have you know, I have a history degree from the University of Florida with a 2.1 GPA, my man. Let me tell you, it can get done. Okay. Sometimes there's a means to an end that your goals are different than their goals. Now they signed up for it. And I agree. I thought of an analogy that's interesting though. I often use the, am I going to rub two sticks together, or am I going to, fire up a lighter to start a little fire? I have never successfully rubbed sticks together to start a fire. But if somebody signs up if a kid, maybe their parents, because they maybe don't have the free will, I'm losing the analogy. However, if kids go on an outward bound camping trip where the whole goal is not to bring the lighter, the whole goal is to experience nature, experience foraging, fishing, hunting in certain ways, that's an experience that they're after, and they would be cheating themselves if they, took shortcuts along that way. Why sign up for that experience if you're going to take the shortcuts?
Right.
At that point, hey, you take the shortcuts, maybe you get the C experience. You don't take the shortcuts, maybe you get the A experience. But if it's out of your hands, it's out of your hands,
Yeah. And that's a lot of, I think more often than not, people are going into higher education to get the degree because they think that they need the degree to get a better position, or, and that's the reality of it. So, and so my intentions are different from a lot of people's intentions of going through higher education, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe that's where the problem is. Maybe that's where my problem is in thinking about this.
Well, and I don't mean to disregard it either, or your concerns. I'm mostly just trying to play devil's advocate, because I do understand your concerns, and I do. I think both could be true. It could be, AI could be a very, very good tool, and it is a good tool, and it will be the tool of the future. I remember academia going through this with Google in '98 when I went to school. Again, as a history major, I'm doing nothing but researching for half a decade of my life, and they're like, well, they had real concerns using Google for research, which we would laugh about now, like we didn't, MLA hadn't figured out how to cite a website yet, which was, so I think it's going to be fine. And I think that there will be opportunity of the people that do elevate and that do see your perspective and can use AI as a tool. And this is a really far reach, but even in music, I see it. There was an era, and there still is. I mean, we're still in it, but there was an era of synthesized sounds. Everything could be made with a computer. Man, there's nothing like a nicely carved, rosewood and spruce top acoustic put into an old tube mic, getting the analog. You know, it just, if it matters to you, you're going to love it. If it doesn't matter to you, you're going to do the computer digital stuff. And I just have to go on. And some performers are like, why do you lug all that stuff around? I'm like, because it sounds better and feels better. And I perform better when I sound better and I feel better.
Yeah.
And to quote the great Deion Sanders, when you look good, you play good. And when you play good, they pay good. So, like, you know, it all goes together, man.
The great Deion Sanders. Huh?
That's right. You know, a hard right turn. I'm driving home from Tinley the other day. It occurs to me, Deion Sanders played 2 professional sports at the same time. And indeed, one day played in 2 different, he played an NFL game and a Major League Baseball playoff game in the same day. Like, that just doesn't happen. And that's not handed out. Like, we know Deion now as this brand and ego and all of that. They weren't handing that out to him as a kid. Like, he went, like, that's crazy. That's amazing that he went and earned that, man. That was really, I just thinking out loud about it. And I know there was Bo Jackson that did the same thing.
Right.
That's incredible, man. I was just reminiscing there. I had a moment.
It's great. I love all the chatter on the chat too. It's good, and it's good fodder for my own brain because I you know, and this whole thing has changed the way that I view all of my grading too. Like, so when I get when I go through like 3 that I know, oh, these are exactly the same. It's the same form. It's the same weird references. It's the same. And there are things that I've designed into the assignments that make me go, that are triggers like, oh,
right. You got the flags, right?
Yeah. So, and then I get to one that's like, obviously not AI. It's not like, it has some mistakes in there, but I can tell, like, you can really tell what's AI and what's not. Now, I'm sure I'm being put over a few times. Like, I'm not really detecting it that much, or I don't detect it and it slips by me or whatever. But what happens is I've become more of a detective than an actual teacher.
Right.
So I'm engaging less with students. It takes me a lot longer to do grades. And because I'm trying to figure out if they've actually used their brain or not, you know. And then when I come across one that is obviously not AI, which is the majority, I'm going to say it's the majority of them are not using AI. I think it's about a third where I kind of go, yeah, this is AI. But when I come across one that is obviously not AI, and it's kind of like it's not like a great, well-written thing, I still give it, I grade it less harshly than I used to.
You're like proud of it. You're like, all right, it's going to get a little curve here, right? Yeah.
Yes, right. So my standard for grading because of AI has actually decreased. I've noticed in myself. That the standard across the board has decreased because I'm just happy that somebody has used their own brain. Isn't that weird? Like, it's funny because so overall, if I were to look at 30 different assignments, they all look much better than they used to. Much better than they used to. But the standard for grading has gone down. So we look smarter, but we're actually not smarter. We're actually less smart.
Well, in all of this, are the most successful one, and to some of the questions in the chat too, in all of this, are the most successful, like, long-term outcomes going to be the people who used AI as a starting point were smart enough to use it to get their own brain going, and then use it as a tool to make a good final product that's 80% their own, to where it's in their own voice. They did do the creative thinking part, but they used it as sort of gasoline on a fire to get the starting point done. And and to me, like, that's the smartest usage of AI. If I just crank out a logo with no personality that looks like every other cartoonish weird AI logo, like, that's sort of the first thing I think of. If I get creative ideas from it and then I go to a designer and go, look, you're a tattoo artist, can you draw this out though, but in your own hand with how cool it'll look? That's the logo I'm looking for. Then I think it's like this cool, almost like incubator of thought and ideas that speeds up that process.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way that I use it. I bounce ideas off and I go, okay. And sometimes I do, like, sometimes I'll say, I don't want to write this. I want to speed this process up. Can you just draft me an email or something like that? You know, I'll use it for that kind of stuff. That's good. Now, but am I being hypocritical there? Am I going, well, I need to? No, I don't think so, because the purpose, the intention is to communicate something to somebody else. The purpose and the intention is not to improve the way that I think. Mm-hmm. So I'm using AI to get to an end there. I don't know. It's just really interesting once you start to, once it starts to affect you and the things that you do, you really start to think all of these things and where we're going, and well, I mean, we'll get a handle on it, I think.
I think so too. Yeah, I think it will. I think it eventually will be a fantastic tool. It is incredibly fast data analysis with. Somebody mentioned earlier that AI will make up stuff, and it does. It jumps to conclusions, and when it gets to better and better conclusions is when it's just going to be this incredible tool.
Yeah. Just to answer some questions. There are AI detectors that you can use. Some, they're not always the best though, and sometimes they're behind firewall or paywalls and stuff. So it's more difficult to detect it. And sometimes when it's detected, there's other reasons why you think, like, they detect, I don't know, quotations and things like that. And it gets a little bit hairy using those AI detectors, but hopefully they will get better so that this isn't, what I do all the time.
Well, and then where's that gray area of, well, yeah, I got a list of 15 creative ideas, and then that got me going in the right path.
Yeah. It's tough. It is tough. So, and then there are ways, and there are ways of telling AI, I want you to write it as if I was an 18-year-old
right. Yeah.
college
You're going to, and let me tell you, as smart as us adults think we are, those kids are freaking smart. They'll put the effort into programming the bot faster than you can program it to find it.
I mean, my study in my life of religions resides 2,000 years ago. That's where, that's where I'm looking. 2,000 to 3,000 years ago. So my students are much better at it than I am. And so is my job to be as good or better than them, or to be one step ahead? I don't know. I guess maybe. I mean, maybe that's part of the job description these days.
You put out the rubric, you write the rubric, and you grade to it, and you got to do your best. There's always been cheating. There's always been people that just get by. Right. There's always been the dude with the 2.1 that's what he wants. That was it.
Okay. Here's something that I know I'm ranting about this. You let me go too far on this, Adam. I'm sorry. But there's one more thing, and this is the thing that propelled me to go, I got to say something about this to everybody.
Okay.
In a discussion post, the assignment is you have to post, and then you have to reply to other posts, right? Uh-huh. So you have somebody who is obviously using AI, and you have somebody who's obviously not using AI. And so this person who is not using AI, who's doing the work, using their brain, thinking about it, writing their own sentences, they then reply to a person who is using AI, and they go, you know, that's a really good idea. You did a really good job there. And like, that's what really, really pissed me off, was like, okay, waste my time, change my job, make me a detective and not a teacher.
Right.
But don't waste your classmates' time.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe, I mean, and don't like dupe your classmates into thinking that you had a good idea. That sucks. That sucks to me. I hate that. Anyway.
No, I don't know how to fix it. I go and I used to get frustrated with people that say, there's nothing I can do about it. I've got to move on. And I'm like, I would tell them, like, to this day, my biggest consulting client is the general manager of a resort in North Carolina, and a professed stoic. Like, that's how he gets through life and stays sane, would be his words. And it used to drive me nuts, because I would say, it feels like you just like use that as a pass to not care. And he's like, well, maybe. He's like, I don't know how else to do it though. What am I going to care about stuff I can't change, or go nuts about things that I can't affect? And I'm like, yeah, doesn't it piss you off? He's like, yeah, it pissed me off so much that I went insane. So I had to stop. And now if I can't control it, the healthiest thing in the world is to move on and figure out either how to live in that world or to excuse myself from that space. And I have to go on that way. And it was 2016 when I met him. So it's been 9 years that I've been working in very close contact with this guy. And that's sort of how I approach things now, where I'm like, I understand the frustration. I don't have an answer for it. I've thought it through, and I can't stop it. So now I have to figure out how to say, look, I think people will get the most out of what they seek. If this isn't the thing that they're seeking, I hope they seek something else and get the most out of it. Yeah. But at the end of the day, they're the ones that are going to have to live with their lives and live with how they get through it. And maybe they're right. Maybe that is the way, and they'll get that fulfillment from it. I don't know. But I get it, man. And some of that goes back to why I like working in a room full of snakes and rats and Lucy all day. Right. You know what I mean? It really is. I mean, it's a little crazy, you know?
So I should probably stop talking about this, and let's move on to the reason that we're here. I need to know what happened this past week. What's happening? What's going on? What did you do? How was it? Tell me everything.
All right. It was good. Before I do that, guys, you should check out, before we dive into Tinley, you guys should check out Keeper Cain, his YouTube channel. Cain he keeps fish. I guess you call them aquatics. That's how you're more professional. Keeps aquatic, tarantulas, big snakes, and he's a ball python breeder. He's really active in the community, and all of his content is 100% family friendly. Check out Cain's experiences and journey as he figures all this out. He documents it all on Keeper Cain on that channel. Husbandry.pro. Nice coffee mug that's also stood the test of time. Let me tell you right there, man. I enjoy it there. The more I do this, the more I wonder, like, how this kind of plays into your thing. How did people keep track of all of this? How did they make any progress with their genetics? How did they track their breeding? How did they, like, we hear examples in like the lore of the industry of people screwing up hets or mixing something up, or a het popping up. And I'm like, how are those isolated incidents that we hear stories of, rather than the way, before Husbandry.pro or software tracking for genetics, breeding, and planning? It's really project management for your reptiles is Husbandry.pro. So check them out. Use the promo code PRoyals60. Get yourself 60 free days. Last but not least, Joe, you know, it was on my front porch yesterday when I got home from the shop.
The freshness of
freshest, cleanest rats, man. Yeah, they were there. It was exciting. Frozen, hard as a rock. There's dry ice. I'm looking at the box. The dry ice is still dry ice in the box, man. It's the freshest, cleanest rodents from Blooded Café. Watch this move right over my eyes, and here comes the focus. Where's it at? Come on. I had this move figured out pre-show. Okay, Blooded Café. Go check them out. Use promo code PROPER11. Get yourself free shipping on orders over $200. And you too can experience the clean, fresh experience, man. It's great.
Love those frozen rodents.
So
let's see.
So we went to Tinley. I vended with Chris at BNS Reptilia. Shout out to Chris. That's an interesting business story in and of itself. I think I've told it enough times, but had a great time. We had a variety of species on the table along with the ball pythons. And the short version, Joe, is it ended up being easily my best Tinley ever.
Really?
My best show ever. And I did $0 of revenue on Sunday. So it was all
Saturday.
Friday evening, there's a little VIP moment as well. Few hours of VIP access as well on Friday. So it was good, man.
That is awesome. I mean, so and did you have a goal going into the weekend?
Yeah, and I think I've said before, but I'll kind of dig into it. It is good to refresh this. Tinley is its own budget line in both philosophically and literally. Yeah, like most shows I intend to make some money on, and I intend to analyze them as, did I profit or did I lose? Is it worth doing? Is it not? And I keep it real simple. What's the money coming in and what's the money going out? That's it.
Yeah.
Tinley is a little different. Tinley is doing business that might be long-term business where you don't know how it's going to turn out. So, for example, just by total luck and coincidence, to my right all weekend was the owner of Blooded Café vending her booth with her team. That is face-to-face time with my third longest running business relationship. This November will be 3 years that I've been working with Blooded Café. That is gold. I'll use Wally as an example. It's Supreme Gecko. We got to talk, and in a 8-minute chat, we cooked up 2 different show ideas, and I got insight onto another local show circuit in Wisconsin. That's all stuff that's going to percolate and pay off in the long run. And I did that, tens, hundreds. I don't think I did it thousands of times, but maybe. I had dinner with PalmStreet on Saturday night. I had dinner with Patreon members and business partners on Friday night. All of those things, that the internet's cool. And it's almost what you were talking about. Like, the new way will work. The old way of face-to-face handshakes, looking people in the eye, frankly, having a beverage, if both people can handle that and it's healthy for them, is a really nice moment of camaraderie, So all of those things were really cool. And then the new people that you meet.
So for Tinley, it is the intention is something that's different than the other shows that you go to. But if you sell at Tinley, it's almost like gravy, right?
Yeah. If in the way that I plan it, other people will say, I've met other people, really good breeders that I look up to, that say, I don't sell anything at Tinley. I'm not spending that money to keep going back.
Okay.
And there's other breeders that sell probably close to what I sell in a whole year. They sell there at Tinley. So it's each goal is different and it evolves. And honestly, now I feel like there's an expression that I used to use. Anyway, thankfully, I don't think they do this much anymore. But the dog tracks, they have a fake rabbit that goes along the rail, and that's what the dogs chase. If the dog ever catches that rabbit, it doesn't race anymore. It knows. It sees behind the curtain. It catches on.
Yeah.
I hope with my revenue this weekend that I didn't catch the rabbit and like see Tinley in a new way now, where I'm like, oh, if I'm not making a ton of money, it's not worth going.
Right. Yeah.
Because the other outlook of how do I meet face to face? How do I the whole shed testing and phenome crew was there. I got to meet all of them face to face when I just did what I'd been working with them for about, well, I've been working with Charlie for years now, but I've been working with the phenome crew for about a month now behind the scenes, rolling this thing out. I got to meet them in person. I got to shake their hands. I got to say thank you to them. All of those things are really valuable. The money is good, but those other things are what are just the long-term incredible foundations, you know? So
who did you sell to? Like, are they people that you met for the first time? Are they people, or was it a mix? How many snakes did you sell? And was it people who just like happened to go there and or did you have the buyers, you know, did you know the buyers beforehand and kind of work on those sales beforehand?
So interesting that you bring that up, because we generally think of Tinley as this, it's in the name, the NARBC, National Association of Reptile Breeders Conference. So we see it as this breeders conference. The most expensive snake that I sold was $400. I sold quite a few of them. I think with pre-sales and then what I would call organic sales, day of sales, I think that the total was around 16.
16 snakes?
Yes, sir. And so,
wow.
Yeah. So if
that's
you're playing,
huge, that's a huge weekend.
Yeah. If you're playing in that sandbox, it becomes a pretty good weekend with even at only. So the breeder quality snakes generally would be much higher than that. But what I found was the high end of the pet, or the entry-ish, and I say that like these are still snakes that if they don't sell, I'll find a use for them. Like I still would use these snakes. So entry level-ish breeder stuff, you know, hobby breeders getting going that may dream of a business or a side hustle or taking a very serious look at their hobby kind of thing. That was kind of the sweet spot. And so the pre-sales, there was 5 snakes. Obviously I knew those buyers. There was, and from after that was probably half and half. I knew about half of the buyers, and the other were new contacts that I'm excited to hopefully see again twice a year and follow up and text to find out how their animals are doing and all that.
That is, have you sold at Tinley before?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you have?
Yeah. Okay. I just don't, not like that though.
Why do you think there was such a windfall this time around?
Don't know. I've thought a ton about it, Joe. I've had a 6-hour drive home to think about it. I had several beverages in the evenings to think about it. I love turning things into a process. I love going, okay,
I know
this happened. How did I do it? Repeat. Right. Over and over. I don't know.
Do you think it's futile to think that way, or will you continue to think that way?
I'll continue to think that way.
You'll continue to try and figure out what happened this time around.
Yeah, I'll absolutely say, what did I do better? How did I do it better? Some of it was luck. So foot traffic was down. Foot traffic was down a little bit. As in like Ed and Emily weren't there. So the whole like family kid factor was very, very low, and family kids are cool. I'm not saying they shouldn't be at shows. What happened though was, I got to engage with buyers a little bit more. People had time to interact.
Oh, okay.
Usually it's so wall to wall. Like it's almost like a concert where you have to like, flow through. And I think in my head, my secret sauce is connecting with people and providing good service, because honestly, you could buy the animals that I'm making, most of them pretty much anywhere. And sometimes you could get it for a better price because I'm a little stubborn on my prices sometimes. So if those two things are true, where's the value proposition? The value proposition is the follow-up and the support that you get from me. It's also knowing I'm not going to disappear. If I tell you something's a het and it is a het, or God forbid I made a mistake, you know where you can find me and I got to make it right kind of deal.
Right. Yeah.
That's sort of my value proposition. That takes a moment to convey in not so many words. That is very hard when it's just so slam packed and you can hardly talk to anybody. Then it's just animal price, binary, yes, no, stay or go. And that's it. Yeah. Versus, hey, what are you working on? What are you looking for? What's exciting you today? What'd you buy? You get a moment, you know? So, I think that was a factor in it. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's more. So there's more time because there's less foot traffic.
Right.
It was less crowded, so you have more time to engage, and that's your value proposition. So,
but the people,
that would be the people, the new people, the people that you that you met for the first time. Had any of them ever heard of you before? No.
I don't know. Maybe, probably, but and maybe, you know, hearing of me, which is actually kind of a really cool result of what I'm about to say. That's a lot of hard work. Hearing of me could have been Instagram. It could have been YouTube. It could have been Facebook. It could have been the 4 times I've vended at Tinley before. It could have been word of mouth from a previous buyer that had a good experience with me. Those
the
are
Canada
all,
thing that you did, or
that's all the business. That could all be the business ecology of it. You know. Yeah. If I think about very specific things I did differently, I brought more inventory. I brought more inventory than I've ever brought. So maybe there was more. You know, you put more chum in the water and more fish show up. I don't know. There's that. Is that weird? I don't know. Maybe that's weird to say.
Well, you just said that you're very personal with your customers. Now you're equating them to fish and your snakes to chum.
Well, it's a big pond, and I have to figure out how to fish it. So there was that.
It's aquatics, okay? By the way,
that's right. That's exactly right. You get more aquatics. Touche. I had the custom jerseys that I put, so we had that sort of guaranteed foot traffic for people to come by and take a look, that were picking up their custom jerseys. Now, I don't think anybody that had the jersey bought the snake, but there's also a little bit of the, a crowd attracts a crowd, right? So if there's people around your table, other people might want to come to it versus an empty table with Adam standing there looking around, maybe it's not so attractive. So
now that's interesting too. So, and we've talked about this before, having things at the table that aren't necessarily sales, but like some kind of activity or some kind of draw for people so that there's activity around your table constantly. So that would be, so you're saying having the jerseys and having people come up and get those jerseys or see those jerseys or whatever, come up and see that. And then that attracts the crowd and that brings people in and go, hey, what's going on over here?
Yeah. And this is one of those sentences that's kind of hard for me to say, that like other people could say it, but it's a little bit hard for me to say. Joe, I do think some of it is just doing the hard work, getting better at what I do. I started off as a very poor grill cook in my days because I didn't know how steaks cooked. I didn't know what the internal temperature was without using a thermometer. I cook 1,000 steaks. I get good at cooking steaks. I do Tinley the 4th or 5th or however many times I've done it now, or probably I'm well over, 100 shows that I've vended in my life now. You do your chops, you get better at what you do, which actually was going to be some of the topic that we could push back to next week. But some of that is why there's that expression, fortune favors the brave. The faster you start, the braver you are, but really it's just starting and getting the reps that you're going to learn and take your knocks and figure out and find all the little things. Okay, the jerseys were a good idea. Okay, I figured out how to set up a huge amount of inventory. I knew my inventory very well. So if somebody said, hey, I'm looking for this, let's check out this. Oh yeah, I brought a rainbow clown, which is, as far as I know, one of only 2 in existence. So that was a little something people could check out. Maybe that will.
And that's a project you're working on with
Chris.
With Chris.
Yeah, at BNS Reptilia. Okay. Yeah. People came by to film that animal, which is now filtering onto YouTube. I had somebody message me yesterday, said, hey, I saw you on this other channel on YouTube. It's all those little seeds that just sort of relentlessly get planted, you know?
Yeah. And the project animal is not, it wasn't for sale, right?
It's not for sale. Correct.
Yeah. It was just there for show.
Yep.
Awesome.
And to talk with people, you know, hey, what are you going to do with this? What would you do with this? Hey, can't wait to see in a year and a half what those babies look like, you know?
So I'm, I have 3 down here that you said, I said, well, what's the difference now? And you said, I don't know. I have 3 reasons, and 2 of them are things that you did, and one of them is not. So, right. So you got it. Yeah. I mean, I think you figured it out. You got to have a project. You got to have things that draw people in just for show. And you've got to have something that's available to them for them to come see besides just the animals, just the snakes. So creating the crowd, creating the buzz around your table. Yeah. And that's exactly right. Like you're definitely correct. Like if I'm at an expo and I see a bunch of people gathering around the table, I'm going and seeing what the hell they're looking at. And if there's a guy who's like trying to get people to come, I don't want to deal with that guy. I got to go I don't want to go there. So it's,
you know, and it's weird.
If you detect, as somebody who's at an expo or a conference or a convention like that, if you detect desperation anywhere, at any one of those tables, desperation is a repellent for me. I need to get out of there.
It's anywhere in life too. Like if 2 restaurants are side by side on a Friday night and there's a line out the door of one of them and the other has nothing going on, you're like, well, screw it. I'm not going to the one place that's empty. It's got to be terrible. And I'm not waiting in that line. So we're out of here. Like, yeah, it's a little bit crazy. And, yeah, so I didn't purposefully like try for most of that. I mean, most of it is do all the little things right, fill out my checklist, make sure I didn't forget anything. And it's boring, mundane stuff. Did I bring the right polishing cloth so that my stuff looks clean? If I'm going to ask $400 or $800 or $1,000 or $1,700 for something, it better look nice and it better be presented well, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's you're putting your head down, you're doing the work, and it's paying off. I'm just trying to figure out what are the factors that are actually drawing people.
Sure. And like I say, I love if I could turn that weekend into a repeatable process, I would do it every weekend, man.
Yeah, right. But I don't know, like, I think Tinley's probably, you're right. It's a different animal. It's a different kind of thing that's going on there, and it is. Most people are just in the industry. They're people who are breeding. They're people who are thinking, who have a hobby that has kind of gotten larger and larger. They're not people who are just like, hey, let's check this out.
No, it's a good mix of both. You get
okay.
Because usually at most shows, that person that's like really understands breeding, really understands genetics, really understands like project visions, there might only be 5% of attendees at most shows that you can like click with that way.
Yeah.
So even them being 50 or 60% at Tinley, and then the other 40 or 50% being hobbyists or entry hobbyists or pet folks is still a massive influx of sort of breeder caliber people.
Yeah. You are getting some comments here, even in the chat, of like the sharpness of some of your creatures.
Yeah, there's cool stuff
I
to
don't
do
know.
out there.
Can you tell me a little bit about the super banana gargoyle? I don't know what that is.
Joe,
Is that one of the ones that I pointed out? And I was like, I really like this one.
No. That is it is a brightening allelic combination that I think is the way of the future. And let me tell you, let me put a little special sauce on top, Joe. It's a super as well. It's a super and allelic brightening combination. It is it's incredible. Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'm going to add. I'm going to go, the future is brightening allelic combinations. And if you get a super in there, then and then walk away.
Oh, that'll get you in. Yeah, that'll get you cred in any breeder party. That's all you have to do, man. Just, I mean, at the bar after Tinley, just walk up with a couple beverages and just be like, guys, I gotta tell you, brightening allelic combinations with a super on top. How was your day at Tinley? How was it, guys? And they're gonna be like, this guy, I don't know who he is, but we got to talk to this guy.
He knows what he's talking about.
That's right. Oh, we also worked on, if I were to isolate a new gene, I would call it the car wash. And then so you could have a car wash and you could have a super car wash.
The super car wash.
And the t-shirt would be 1 bay or 2 bays of the car wash. Then you would know it was het or heterozygous or homozygous.
You guys are funny. It was funny. I'm sure it was a great time. And you had fun at night when it was all over, and you caught up with people. And did you get a good steak?
Oh, I gotta say, we had a very nice night. Shout out to the Primal Cut Steakhouse. I always go there on Friday nights. It's always solid. It's not, I can't say it's hit or miss. It's always either solid or excellent. This time, top notch. I mean, the service was great. The food was great. The steaks were right on point. To get really nerdy, this whole grass-fed beef phenomenon, I'm a ribeye guy. I want fat in my steak. Those cows need more than grass to have fat in their ribeyes. Don't bother me with the grass fed. Got some good Wagyu ribeye that night. It was excellent, man. It was very good.
It's funny. You taught me that. I used to cut away the fat and not eat the fat, stuff like that. And now I'm eating every fat that I get.
Get it all, man. There you go. Cook it right down, man. There it is. No,
I used to be in shape too.
That's true. Yeah, I used to be a healthy man, and then I met Adam. And his madness.
Whose metabolism is like this.
Well, I got to tell you, man, I got a little something to show for it these days. But I got to say thanks, Steven. Thanks for the spot in the spotlight in your latest video. Thank you very much. Very kind, man. It was cool to do. So I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to this weekend off. And then next weekend, I'm off to Fargo on Saturday and then back in Minneapolis on Sunday, which is going to be, for those of y'all that haven't been to the region, which is understandable, that's about a 5-hour turnaround next way. So that's going to be a tough weekend next weekend.
Next weekend, you're going out to
Fargo on Saturday, but on Sunday, I'm vending on Sunday here in town.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
And the weather is, when I was in Tinley, the weather flipped its switch, man. Fall started all of a sudden, and I can tell you in another 10 days, we might have a little snow in Fargo. So the temps add to reptile logistics, as you could imagine.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. And especially when they change so quickly too.
Right? Yeah. Well, it was all delayed. I mean, we had 80-degree days in October, which is kind of unheard of. So it's when it changes, it's going to change fast and noticeably, I think.
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad you had a good weekend. You're going to get this weekend off.
Yeah.
Go back to bed if you can, and then and then next weekend's a full weekend. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it was very cool. And I got to see and meet and hang out with Heart of the Python again. It was a good weekend, man. I had a good experience all around. Couldn't be
That's great.
with it. Yeah.
That's great. Well, thanks again for this morning. It's always great to start my day on Thursday. Please come back next week, chat. Great chat over on the chat area.
It was good today. Yeah, we were active today. I like it.
And sorry about my AI rant, but that did get a lot of chatter.
I was going to say the engagement was high, man. We just got to give the people what they want. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. And then great to hear about Tinley. I'm glad, and it seems like there's a lot of people in the chat that had a good Tinley as well. So fantastic. So thanks to everybody for joining us this morning.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And maybe we start a little fund to get Joe up to 10. I got to be honest. Had I known it was going to be as solid as it was, we'd have dipped into the old Proper Royals budget to get you up there, man. So,
you shouldn't have to do that. Nobody should have to do that. I should just go on my own. And actually hearing about you at Tinley makes me want to go back to Daytona or a big show like that. It'd be great.
You are you're on the, you're on the board, man. Sometimes the board has to meet, that's what
yeah. Exactly. Let's see. Let's get Joe to Tinley. Joe, Halloween costume. I think we have settled on a Halloween costume, and the party is next Friday. So 2 weeks from now, I will have a picture of the Halloween costume. But we're still kind of up in the air. I think we got one. But if you want to give me any ideas, it's at Proper Cup of Joe on Instagram. Send me a message.
All right. Well, there's momentum for you, Joe. We might have to deliver. All right. We've now done the thing that I hate. We've turned this into the Skinner version of a podcast where the ending never happens. We're out of here. See you guys.